you have a lot of fans in China even before you were here. So how do you depict yourself in front of Chinese?
In fact, I didn't even realize that I was well known in China. I didn't realize that at all. So, so it was kind of a surprise. But certainly, I feel very honored and very well received, and feel very welcome. I guess the way that I usually describe myself is an engineer, because that's mostly what most of what I do is engineering. So I spend most of the week with my engineering and design team working on the current car and future cars and the rockets and spacecraft and that kind of thing.
I noticed your start software designs when you were 10 years old.
Yeah.
And got success in 12 years old, is that right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but then you were in Southern Africa. So how did you decide to leave your hometown and realize your dream in North America?
The reason I started programming computers is because I like computer games. And I play lots of computer games, and I learned that if I wrote software and sold it, then I could get more money and buy better computers. So it wasn't really, with some grand vision or anything. But when I was growing up, I'd read lots of books, and they were very often set in the United States, and it seemed like a lot of new technology was being developed in the United States. So I thought, okay, I really want to work on new technology, so I want to get to Silicon Valley. Which when I was growing up, Silicon Valley seemed like some sort of mythical place. Like Mount Olympus or something.
So then you decide to go to Stanford, go to Silicon Valley after you graduate, right?
Yeah.
But as we mentioned, at that time, actually, it's the middle of the 1990s. I didn't feel that the gold rushing time, at least for me, because
True,
I was
agree.
there, yeah. And I heard about that, but I didn't feel that the way.
Yeah.
So, but how did you decide to start your own company and give up your study in Stanford?
The reason I came out to Stanford was actually to work on energy storage technologies for electric cars. And that summer of '95, I was looking at the internet, and it seemed to me like the internet was going to have a big effect on humanity. It seemed like it was like humanity acquiring a nervous system. Whereas previously communication had been sort of like through osmosis. Now, anyone with a connection to the internet would have access to all the world's information, which is a fundamental step change in like the human collective, if you will. So I thought, well, I can either work on electric vehicle technology and do my PhD at Stanford and watch the internet get built, or I could put my studies on hold and try to be part of the internet. And at first I tried to get a job at Netscape because that was the only internet company. And they didn't respond to me. So then I was like, okay, if I can't get a job at the only internet company, then I better try starting something. But I talked to my professor and I said, look, I'm going to try starting a company. It's probably not going to succeed. And if it doesn't succeed, can I come back? And he said, sure, no problem. And so I put my studies on hold and started the company.